Good morning, students. Welcome back to discrete mathematical structure classes. Okay, so last class we have seen logical implication, that is rules of inferences, how to write a logical implications, that is P1, P2, P3 till Pn will be connected with the conjunction, then all will be having a true value and whole implies to Q, that is going to be called as a conclusion. This is going to be called as a hypothesis, and if these are true then surely this is going to be true. Okay, based on this we have seen one example, this one, and we found a truth table for this one also, and we verified it is a tautology. Then next we had one more example where we tried to replace some values, and we tried to validate whether it is true or false using again truth table. Okay, then next we had a definition of logically implies. Okay, um, okay, that is logically implies. Then after that we have seen one more example where p is logically equivalent to q, which is also we can say is p by conditional q is also tautology. If this is true, this is also going to be true. Okay, then in this condition if I say p implies q or q implies p, both are going to give a tautology only. Hence we can say is p is logically p logically implies q and q logically implies p. Okay, then we have seen the same example. This is a one more example we have seen, and this is about laws we have learned. Okay, and again new law we have learned, that is modus ponens. What is a modus ponens? It is, if I write like this, it is going to be written as in terms of logical implication in terms of a single line, and we verified using a this is truth table. Then we if we write in this format, it is going to be called as a tabular form. Okay, so with the p we have replaced some value, and with q we have replaced some value, and we verified this one also, and we got the correct value. And we have taken a one more example where this all are present in terms of sentences. We converted them in terms of premises. Okay, then after that we tried to simplify that one. Okay, using then next one we had, sorry, here only we one more example. It has been given in terms of sentences, then it is being converted into its respective premises. Then what we are having, we have converted this one into p, another one is q, another one is r. Are primitive statements, do not get confused. This is going to be called as premises, these are going to be called as primitive statements, and this is in terms of tabular representation we have written. Then we try to simplify that, whether we'll get a conclusion or no. So what is here? It is here that one we have solved in a two ways. Okay, we must and should, while simplifying, it should be in a steps format, and this is going to be in a reasons, two columns. Exactly, we need not to write columns, but if we make a while writing, we have to understand that one. Okay, it's not necessarily put a lines, just we should understand that it's going to bifurcate it. Okay, then this is the better to write all these things, that is step 1 2 3 4 5. So it will be easy for you to understand whether it is which step I'm referring, and which steps I'm using, and what law I'm applying to which particular step. Okay, so if I have to use all the premises which it has been given in a question, you can observe here there are three premises, so I have used all these three. Okay, using any e combination you can take, it is not mandatory you have to take first only, or preferably we try to take a first from beginning. But if you are very well versed with the laws, you can choose anything, but try to do simplified one. They will not give you a newer problems apart from textbook. Usually they'll get from textbook only, but you, if you are well versed with these problems, then only you can apply to that one. So make sure you are going to know these problems finally. Okay, so this is going to be important, this is also going to be important. Okay, we are going to apply here all the laws and we are going to get the answer. Another way was here, second way, steps I had taken P. See, that was premises third step. You can see here. It so it is first one. Here, if they are taken second and third, then they are taken last one. So here they what they are taken, the first one they have taken, then second one they have taken premises, then step 1 and 2 they have used a rule of detachment. So what they have detached, they have detached P. Okay, negation of Q is replaced. Okay, a negation of Q is retained, then premises is taken, then from these two I'm going to apply rule of detachment. Here both the time they have applied rule of detachment. In first condition we were using law of realism and law of detachment, whereas second condition we can use a rule of detachment. So any combination you can make and you can apply any law to any steps and you are going to, but you are not going to use again and again same premises. You can use that one once maximum. Okay, then after that next we are going to have is next rule. This is also important. So what we are going to have, this is P implies Q. It is in terms of tabular form. Okay, so P implies Q is there, then negation of Q is there. If it is condition conclusion, I'll be getting as negation of P. Okay, so logically implication, P implies Q and negation of Q whole implies negation of P. This is also called as modus tollens. Okay, so it is meaning is method of denying. So what is mean, modus tollens come from Latin and can be translated as method of denying. What I have denied, I have denied is Q. Instead I have taken a P and made a negation of that one. I denied a Q, right? It is appropriate because we deny the conclusion Q so as to prove a negation of P. Okay, okay, next we'll take an example. What is it? It is some letters are half, it has been missing. Okay, no problem. So it is a name, one of the name. Canny is elected president of Pi Delta sorority. Then Helen will pledge that sorority. Okay, so first I'll write here P. What is my P? P is Canny is elected president of Pi Delta sorority is representing P. Okay, I'll change the pen color. Pointer option color, I'll take a green. Okay, next one we need to write a Q. Okay, Helen did not. Second one is Helen will pledge the sorority. So this is going to represent my Q. Then Helen did not pledge the Pi Delta sorority. That is negation of Q. Then therefore Canny was not elected president of Pi Delta sorority. Only two primitive statements are there. One is P, another one is Q. Okay, so what I'll be getting here? Okay, only two primitive statements are there and we are using that one. Okay, so directly these cannot come. First, whenever sentence has been given, we have to consider that one in terms of that one first primitive statement and the primitive statement, then we have to write in terms of tabular form. Then okay, then next we are going to have question. Here it has been missing. Just a minute. Sorry, I missed the question. I'll just try it again. ಒಂದು ಚೂರು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ನಿಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ದುಡ್ಡು ಐತಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಫೋನು ಇದೊಂದು ಮಾಡಿ ಬರ್ತೀನಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಹಾರ್ಡ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 5-10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿನಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿನಿ ದೊಡ್ಡಿ. ಹಾಂ okay, so problem statement is here. So what is given question? Use a modest tolerance to show that the following argument is valid for primitive statements P, R, S, T and U. How many are there? Primitive statements P, R, S and T and U. So totally 5 primitive statements are there, and these are how many premises are there? This is 1, 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and conclusion is this one. Okay, we have to find out now whether it is valid or no. Okay, so what we have to do, first we have to write a steps and then reasons. Okay, so here both the modest tolerance and laws of syllogism came into play, that is used along with the logical equivalence. Okay, so what they'll do, first I'll just change this color, highlighter in color. Okay, this is fine. So first P implies R and R implies yes, they are taken. So this is first one, this is second one. Okay, they have taken, and it is going to be called as premises. We don't need to bother here premise 1 or 2. Okay, just we are taking 2. Okay, so since I have taken, I have marked over here. Then next we are having what I'm going to do using this one, which law I can apply, because here and here it is common, so the law of syllogism I can apply. So from the step 1 I have applied law of syllogism. What the conclusion I got? P implies yes, I have written over here. Then I'll take a next one. So I have taken this one, T or negation of yes. Okay, then can I apply any law here? Okay, yes, I can apply a commutative law of disjunction. Okay, negation of yes, I'll take a this side, and T I can take here, so I can apply any law in between these two. Okay, so I'll step 3 and commutative law I'm going to write, and the conclusion I'll be writing over here. For this premises I'll be writing here, it came here and this came here. Okay, then after this, from this step, which all steps? Step 4, fact that negation of yes or t, we know that yes implies t. We already came to know these are going to be logical. These are going to be called as the facts, and along with the laws, we are going to use all these things also. So yes implies t, I have converted. Okay, then after that, now yes implies t is there, p implies yes. If I apply, yes is going eliminated and remaining p implies t. So that is nothing but the law of syllogism. So which are steps 2 and 5. So I have applied and I got this answer. Now let's check it out which all steps left out. Left out is negation of u and this one. Okay, so I'll take a negation of t or u. I'll take this one. So once it is done, next what I'll be doing, I'll be writing that one as a premises. Once it is done, next I'll be telling again using a fact, I'll be doing what, negation of t or u, logical equivalent, t implies u. I'll take that one and I'll apply this and I'll get this t implies u. Once it is done, next I'll be having what, I have to use p implies u. I'll be getting how, by step 6. I'll just change up this color, pointer option. I'll just paint pointer. I'll just change color. That is okay. This one, let it be. Okay. So what I'll be doing, 6 and 8. This is 6. This is 6, and this is going to. So t get eliminated. So law of syllogism I'm using, and I'll be getting p implies u. Okay. Now left out is only one premises, that is negation of u. I'll take that one also and I'll write answer premises. Now applying this one, which I can apply modus tollens, I'm going to apply. So hence I'll be writing in a 11 step, step 9 and step 10 modus tollens. I'll be getting the answer as negation of p. Okay, so conclusion I have proved. So hence what I got is, I have proved all these statements are there. Using all these premises, I have concluded the negation of p. Okay, the next one we are going to have is a rule of conjunction. So the following rule of inference arises from the observation that if p and q are true statement, then p and q is a true statement. Hence what we are going to get, this is p and this is q, therefore p or q. Okay, so once it is done, next what we are going to have, I'm going to write all these laws in a single page. So this is first law, the rule of detachment, law of syllogism. Okay, then modus tollens, then rule of conjunction, then the rule of disjunctive syllogism, rule of contradiction, then rule of conjunctive simplification, then rule of disjunctive amplification, then rule of conditional proof, then rule for proof by cases, and rule of construction dilemma, then rule of destructive dilemma. Okay, so all we are going to take these things. Okay, so we now that you can remember like this also, or else you can remember in a tabular form also. Anything is fine. I suggest you go with this tabular form only. What you do, take a sheet, write rule of inference in tabular form and its name, and stick that one into your one of the wall. So every day you read it or till you get by heart it. Okay, somehow you do it is a by heart and all those things. Fine. Then next we are going to have is the laws of logic. This already brilliant. I just made you in a single video, so all the laws are going to be available for you. This one we have seen in a previous videos. This is now how the truth table you have written for this one. Same thing, you are going to write a truth table for this one. Conclusion will be r. So and r value of this conclusion part, what we are going to have that one, and these laws will be getting same value, and surely you are going to get a tautology if we put a instead implication if you put by conditional over here. Okay, just check it out and do it. Okay, so this is all for your today's class, and next I may take any classes or Google Meet I may take, and I'll be asking you questions. Fine. Okay, thank you.